What's up, YouTube? That'll never get less weird. So, welcome back. If you want to skip through all of this, go fast forward to this time right here and you'll get right into the braids. But I just want to explain what we're going to be doing. The cool thing about this video and what I wanted to highlight is because in my opinion, it's a pretty satisfying looking freestyle design. Like, it's got contrast, it's got different sizes, it's got braids that go over each other. And what I wanted to explain throughout the process is how much easier it is than you probably think to create something like this. Because the cool part is, if you only know how to do a cornrow, then you know how to do this design and you may not know that you know how to do that. So that's the whole goal of this video. That is one of the top comments I get on either TikTok or Instagram. Like, that's so cool. I wish I could do something like that. And that's the goal, is to show you that you probably can if you know how to do a basic cornrow. As always, I'm going to talk a little bit step by step through this video, but if you want more in depth, I actually have a full online braid course where we go from start to finish. If you do not know what to do at all, you've never braided before, you can start there. If you know how to do the basics, we can start there. Or if you are already a full-time braider and you're looking to level up your business and your braid game, we have that as well. So I'll link that down in the description. It is called Allie Teaches Hair, the braid course. And without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so a lot of my videos start with this, where I put a lot of gel on the back of my hand. It's just an easier way to grab it for me. You're gonna start by painting the hairline with gel, combing through. I do a little bit of accessing combing through just because I want a lot of the hair before I start to have gel on it. It makes it easily controllable. Start with the pintail of your comb right down the center of their face through their eyebrows at the bridge of their nose to get a rough initial part. Then you go back, fully part through, and that is your rough draft, because I'm gonna go through and paint it with gel and then part again from the front to make sure that it is in fact the center of the face. Always check from the back and from the front of the point of view to make sure that it's accurate. This takes a little bit. All right, so we're here. So I'm gonna start in the center with just this small, not totally half C, but like half oval shape. And little braids next to big braids, I love it. Makes it I just feel like the contrast looks so good. And when you're doing small braids, I usually only pick up or add in hair from one side. Whichever side that is totally up to you. I just feel like it's easier to keep the braid consistent on the head if you only pick up little pieces from one side as you feed in. Sometimes I feel like as you braid down, you know, the braid is higher up than where you're adding in hair, and then it makes it look a little less snug. So I'm gonna go through and do this 3 times down the center to create this sort of half oval shape. And then on the other side of the part, you will see eventually we are going to do that as well. And again, this is just a simple cornrow, but with a different part. Keep in mind that. Now we are doing 4 braids total, but with this design, I wanted the little braids to be in between each one. So I'm gonna go through and sort of place this next half oval in between the ones that we had before. So you'll see 3 down the center and then 2 on the left and 2 on the right. Same process again. It's just a regular cornrow, but with different parting and a different section of hair. So now this, we're doing another half oval on the opposite side, bringing it back. Again, only picking up from one side. I do like how the points of these braids have different starting points. Again, I just always like to create different sizes to be right next to each other, if that makes sense. So now that both ends of the little braids are together, I'm gonna go through and braid this section. Now we're gonna come up, and if you see, I'm constantly moving that little braid because I wanna see where it lays naturally, because I don't want it to be pulled in any different direction when I feed it into the bigger braid. I want it to lay where it wants to lay. I don't wanna pull it up too high or down too low, because that's gonna be uncomfortable for the client. Do the same thing with the second one. And finish braiding, tie off with a rubber band. Now I'm gonna prep this middle section and just get it out of the way, because I do need to do the other side of this half oval in order to feed it in to that big braid. Going through doing the same thing. And now that you see, I can braid this section because the other side of that oval is complete, so I can feed into the braid. Again, cool thing, if you know how to do a basic cornrow, you can absolutely take care of this design. Absolutely. All it is big and small cornrows fed in to each other. Get that section out of the way so that I can part and braid these last two half ovals without running into any extra hair. Always keep your sections nice, neat, and tidy, you know, pulled back with gel to kind of help with any sort of extra frizz getting in the way, or that one strand of hair that somehow gets into the braid and then you gotta kind of pull it out, and that just creates discomfort for the client. So now I have all these small sections complete, so I'm gonna go ahead and prep this section, which I pinched together with gel so that when I actually go to braid, the hair is pretty much prepped. In this last section here, we are going to go ahead and finish it up. Stay tuned, finished product, and we'll explain it a little more after this. All right, so we just finished that. I also wanted to highlight, because that is a cut, that is an edited, sped up version of one of the services. So I want to give you a realistic thing to think about. That service, we didn't cut his hair, he just comes in for braids. That's my client, James. That was I believe that took us about an hour and a half. Maybe a little less than that, maybe about an hour and 15 minutes or so. So I want you to keep in mind to be patient with yourself. That kind of design didn't always take me an hour and 15 minutes. When I first started, I used to book 3 hours for any braid service because I wasn't sure how long it took me. But I've been doing this for a while now, so I know that if I'm just braiding the top, I only book for about an hour and a half, depending on what they're getting. Please don't compare my highlight reel to your real life. I did that for a really long time, and it breeds nothing but resentment and insecurity and imposter syndrome. So I just wanted to give that realistic take. If you liked all this, we gotta say it. Like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.